That although there may be alternative routes available to us to activate both of these functions of oxytocin, that there's a huge benefit to the long-lasting relationships that we build with others. What would you say to that? Can you have an equally fulfilling long-term bond with, say, an animal?
Actually, the reason I started to work with the relationships between humans and animals was that I saw actually an article that said that having a pet is related to lower risk of cardiovascular disease, less risk of going to the doctor, less risk of being infected. And what I saw was that these are exactly the same effects that you see in studies where you look at the what are the positive consequences of relationships between humans. And of course, I knew that these are exactly the effects that you receive if you give oxytocin, you know. So by knowing the experimental side, I could see that this kind of interaction was giving these mini injections of your own oxytocin all the time, which will then be linked to health. But there is, you know, there's something special with the animals, and that is that if you have a dog, you are very much, most people are very attached to their dogs because somehow they are, you know, if you have a human around, you may never know if they're going to be a bit critical perhaps, or maybe they will say something sometimes that you don't like to hear. But the dogs are more constantly positive in a sense. So people tend to open up very much to dogs if they like the dog. Now, not all people do that. Some people are afraid of dogs and they will not receive any positive effects. So it is linked to this positive affect. It's not that the positive affect per se gives these nice positive health promoting effects, but it opens up for the touch to be so efficient and so active that it can activate all these anti-stress systems and all these effects which are linked to restorative effects.
So I think what you've said is, again, another example where you have to first have initiated that social bond.
Absolutely.
And then once that's initiated, once that context is one of positivity, of trust, of respect, once you are open, you are then able to derive the benefits of these anti-stress oxytocin effects.
And we have actually made a study where we have allowed old people in an elderly home to just stroke a dog, say 10 minutes, or interact with a dog, I would say, 10 minutes twice a week for 3 weeks. And you can actually see how their blood pressure goes down just as much as it would do if they if they would eat medicine for lowering blood pressure.